It is the 7th day of the month of June. Of course, the month is still warming up, whether it wants to get to the mid of it or not yet. But of course, right here on the show, we get to kickstart the conversations. And those conversations are those conversations that you really want to understand even more about. And tonight is yet another night right here on the summit. I'll be introducing my guest in studio. I know you've already seen him. And for some of you, I know you're already wondering if we're going to be having lectures in the show today on the summit or not. But probably, yes, it is probably time to have that. But I'll be coming back to our guest in studio. But because we are actually talking about a change, it's most important for us to understand what we know about that particular change. But before we even go further, remember this is the summit and we are now in session. And my name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Thank you so much for making time and for joining us right here on the program. From Mount Kenya University, Rwanda, to Mount Kigali University, right here that's the conversation we'll be talking about right here, and what that particular means for the students who've been learning at Mount Kenya University, that is now Mount Kigali University. But before we go there, this is what we know about this institution of higher learning. And of course, it's important for us to look back at the history and to try and understand that the university was established right here in Rwanda around 2010, and it's been there for the last 13 years. And let's also look at the other fact that we know about this particular university is that Rwandan students were actually yearning for international degrees, and that was part of the reason why they actually opted or decided to try and convince the management to actually set up shop right here in Rwanda. Of course, another fact that we know about the Mount Kenya University, is now Mount Kigali University, is actually the fact that the university offers competitive and accredited programs. We'll be able to get more details about these particular programs right here on the show. Also, we know that the university is a top-notch research, incubation and innovation center. We'll be able to get more details about this particular university right here on the program. Now, it's time for me to bring my guest on the show tonight, and it is what we call a breakout session of the summit. We know that every summit usually has some of those programs. We have panel discussions and then we have breakout sessions. Tonight is a breakout session, which is actually a one-on-one edition of the summit. As I said earlier on, my name as always is Eugene Anangwe. Get in touch with us through our Twitter handle at Eugene Anangwe, and the hashtag to use as always is the Summit RW. I'm here with Dr. Martin Kimemia, who's the acting Vice Chancellor, Mount Kigali University. Thank you so much, the acting VC, for joining us on the show.
Thank you too, even for having me around. I'm happy to be in the summit.
Yes, I'm actually reminiscing on the days that we were still at the university, and earlier on I was saying, if I'm to be asked right now, which university do you go to? And actually I did go to Mount Kenya University, Rwanda, and we call it MKU. And so they'd be asking me, which MKU? Is it MKU, which is Mount Kenya University, or Mount Kigali University? I know you'll be able to break down for us those changes right here on the program. But I want us to first look at the 13 years of the institution right here in Rwanda.
Sure.
2010 to 2023. I want to just understand, because all of us, when we set our priorities, we want to be able to gauge the progress and also gauge the results of what we actually intended to achieve. 2010, the setup of this university, what did it intend to actually achieve, and how would you be able to look back and say, this far we have come, we've been able to achieve X, Y, Z?
Okay, thank you very much for having me around. I'm Dr. Martin Kimemia. I am the acting Vice Chancellor to Mount Kigali University, an affiliate of Mount Kenya University.
Yes.
So I believe now you are able to solve the issue of
how to introduce, yes,
and MKUB.
Yes.
It is about Mount Kigali University, an affiliate of Mount Kenya University.
Right.
We still remain with the ties, but now we have to get to a point of MOUs.
Yes.
I want to say I'm happy to be in this show, and I want to tell all the viewers, we are here to demystify things.
Yeah.
We are here to break down into palatable pieces that everybody can get it. You are in Rwanda, you are watching us from across the globe. Today is the moment when we come and break it down and we have everybody on board.
Yes.
Because much has happened and much has come.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we have now to tell people this is it.
Correct.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
Now, you talked about the history.
Yes.
Let me say this to start with. every time you see a gap in the field, in an arena there, especially when you are doing, this is a private institution.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we saw a gap. The gap was in Rwanda. There was a gap in the sector, education sector. At the end of the day, that's when the founder and the chairman to Mount Kigali University found his way here to come and fill a gap. We were the first people to begin even master's degrees here at the end of the day. So we came here to bring the first ones. We came here to bring milestones in the education sector. So at the end of the day, I would like to say, how did we get into this place? Seeing a gap. Come fill the gap. And when we came, we didn't have our own facility, maybe.
Correct.
Because you would like to know where the journey began. We found ourselves in rentals. We were in Kameria, around Kameria. We had a building there we rented. We started our program in the School of Business there. We also found ourselves in Camp Kigali, whereby again we had our classes there. Then after that, we found ourselves again even into St. Paul. We found ourselves down there. So at the end of the day, history has it that we have been all over and about. But with the time, as we shaped up and we picked up in the sector, we found ourselves owning some land around Kagarama where we are, and at the end of the day we set the infrastructure that today you can see there.
Right, interesting. I'll be able to come back on the issue of the consolidation.
Yes.
Because I remember that time when, you know, in fact, when I went to personally register, I did it in town, Avenue de la Paix. That's where actually the head office was.
True.
We'll talk about the consolidation and the journey towards that consolidation. But if I may ask you, the name change from Mount Kenya University, Rwanda, to Mount Kigali University. A lot of people have been asking a lot of questions. And I know of some who have actually even tweeted asking, was it necessary? And I want us just to demystify why the name change from Mount Kenya University, Rwanda, to Mount Kigali University. Let's talk a bit about that.
Okay, here is a woman. And this woman has been pregnant for 9 months. A baby is born. Will you call the baby the mother?
I mean, traditionally we name each other, you know, after sometimes the father or the mother or the grandmother. I mean, some people do that,
anyway, This is what happened. After we came here 2010, the journey began, and with the time, we applied for what we call accreditation. Accreditation is about autonomy. Is about individuating. From being in this was a campus to Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya has several campuses, over almost 20 campuses. You go to Kenya, they have a lot of campuses. Even outside the country, one of them having been the Kigali campus. Now, a time came when Kigali campus decided we are growing. There is the potential of becoming an individuated university. We become autonomous. And that's when we went to the government of Rwanda through Higher Education Council, and we applied for autonomy, what we call accreditation. So the change now we are seeing is when the government of Rwanda, under the wisdom of His Excellency the President and his cabinet, Paul Kagame and his cabinet, they found it's okay. 2023, we had applied way back, 2018. And after 5 years, it has come now. We are told time has come. We have seen you. You have grown. The faculties are there. We can see the schools are set. You have the capacity to hire staff. You have the numbers of students that you have. You need. You have the programs that are anchored. At the end of the day. So we can now give you the autonomy, you become an individuated university. So the whole idea of changing from Mount Kenya University to Mount Kigali University is about what we call accreditation.
So the accreditation
is a milestone.
It is a milestone, like you say. But then there is the aspect of the name or the word Kenya on the name. And I have a few people who are actually mentioning, and one of them was actually Eric Tuarwa on Twitter, who actually did say, I planned to start my master's degree there, but now I can't because at the international level, even the name of institution counts.
Yes.
Let's demystify that. I mean, what counts? Is it the name, and how is it related to this change?
Thank you, Anangwe. But I would like to say, this is what the Englishmen say. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. It is not the name that really has the real pedigree you are looking for. I want to talk to my friend here. It is not the name Kigali that has the pedigree. It is not the name Kenya that has the pedigree. It is the systems. It is the faculty member, the staff that we have. It is the equipments, it is the laboratories, it is our library, it is our infrastructure, it is the roadmap that produces you as a graduate. You can even go to a big university with a big name, but if you don't get the substance that it makes you to be, at the end of the day, you are nobody. So I want to tell my friend, and I would like to challenge people who have such a notion. They should understand it is not the name. Anangwe, if you didn't manage to do what you do good in the summit, I'm telling you, the employer will not keep you here. But the pedigree in you makes you hang on. If somebody came into your office, into the station where you are today, and in the seat you are, and not deliver, will be sacked the following day. So let me just put it this way. Friends, I'm looking into your eyes. Is it the name, or is it the substance we make you? We want you to come to Mount Kigali University, see our infrastructure, find our faculty member who are international. We have Nigerians there, we have people from South Africa, we have Kenyans there, we have Rwandans also teaching, we have Ugandans, Nigerians, they are teaching in our faculty. So anybody telling you that we are not international or whatever, I'm telling you that is a lie. It's only that they don't know what is there. And that's why today I'm honored to come and talk about this. So I would like to tell my friend, we are there, we are real, the pedigree remain, the quality remain, the very things that made us have a name and lead ahead of the pack in Rwanda and beyond still continues with the Mount Kigali University.
Right. So what you're telling that person who intends to actually take any course at a higher learning institution and they want to have on their degree a name that is not a Rwandan name, that actually probably the notion makes it local, they have nothing to worry. Because at the end of the day, the name Kenya, for some reason, there are students who felt, I think my degree is international because I studied in a Kenyan, an international, non-Rwandan. Not to say that Rwandan universities or institutions are not that good, but for those who chose that because of the name Kenya in the Mount Kenya University, Rwanda, they shouldn't worry? That's what you're saying?
Absolutely, they should not worry. It is not in the name, it is in what we make you to be in this institution. And we are promising the quality of education. The standards will remain as high. We have one of the most elaborate quality management system. Ask them, they know. Today I can tell you even about survey. What you're asking, we have even done a survey. Not everybody is worried about that. They believe in our quality because we have put in place a mechanism to make sure we have what we call total quality management. As you enter by the gate, and by the time you leave that gate, we want to monitor our quality. And what is the product we are making? This graduate who becomes a graduate at the end of the day. By the time you graduate, we want to assure you total quality.
Total quality. Let's talk to this person who actually was actually probably feeling that it was not necessitated, the change of name was not necessitated. Let's talk to them about the value that comes with this new status. What's the value? What is it that will be different now?
Precisely. Let me say, once a university is accredited, a campus is accredited, it raises in status. So I want to tell them, Mount Kigali is a lifted ground for what was a campus. In the name of Mount Kenya University Kigali campus. It is no longer now a campus, is a university. So number one, what does it bring? That entity, the entity itself. Today I can tell you, Mount Kigali University is a legal entity. You can sue Mount Kigali. It can sue you. It has the powers to own whatever it can own. It can buy land, it can do fields, it can have teams to the Olympics, it can go for inter-university competition in whatever level, because it is an entity that is recognized.
Right.
What else does it bring? Today we'll be boasting of our alumni. You're telling me you're from Mount Kenya, you become our alumni. At the end of the day, we'll be very happy. Because initially we would have talked about the alumni to Mount Kenya. It is in Kenya. That is where the alumni is housed. Now we have the capacity now to house an alumni, kind of a network within. And you know, with alumni comes a lot of things that will be very necessary for this country and even the people coming to the university in the future. Because we'll be finding people who have gone through the same institution and people who can now say, this is what we found here, this is what we found being done this way, we want even it promoted to this level. They bring inputs at the end of the day. I would say we'll be having the capacity also to mount programs. We'll go to the Higher Education Council in Rwanda, tell them there is this market survey we have done, this is our justification, this is what we feel Rwanda people need, this is what we feel the world need at the end of the day. For instance, we are working very hard to bring what we are calling artificial intelligence as a course in the university, because that's where the world is going. Now, we have that capacity to really forge it ourselves. We don't need to wait for any other university in America to do it. It will start here with Mount Kigali University at the end of the day.
This is for the organizational or the structural level. Let's talk about the students now. What do they get? Because at the end of the day, you know, you spoke about the students who you've been drawing from different countries, Holland, Pakistan, Nigeria, Congo, Cameroon, and within Rwanda itself. What is the change that they're going to be seeing? Because I think the idea here is to be able to try and understand what difference does it make to me as a student of Mount Kigali University that I was not able to get when it was still Mount Kenya University, Rwanda?
Let me say that when a baby is born, of course, there must be good things that will come along with it. But I would just like to say, majorly, our operation will remain. We were international, we are international, per se. That's why we are talking about we will have students. Like, for instance, we'll have a platform we call the ODEL, Open and Distance Electronic Learning Platform, the virtual learning, whereby we are online. Anybody from across the globe can learn from Mount Kigali University. So, what are we bringing different? Initially, they had to wait for somebody in Kenya to respond to them. And at times, we get ourselves handcuffed. When maybe, you know, technology is technology. At times it breaks down. At times we are not able to reach to where we would like, in our service charter, we want to serve you very fast. We are unable to serve you. We want to wish them and tell them we will now have the excellency, what we call service excellency. And we believe our customer care is going to go to another notch higher. Because at the end of the day, it's me, I'm here. You have come to me. You are an international student. You want addressed. I have every system that you require. I will address it. Look at it this way again. When it comes to credit transfers, for instance, you are moving from one university to you're coming to Mount Kigali University, an affiliate of Mount Kenya University. Then at the end of the day, we want to give you credit transfer. We don't need to wait for the Senate on the other side. Senate will be here. It will be faster. Look at it this way also. We want to graduate you. The graduation will be on the ground. It is no longer the costly affair that you'll be talking about. I have been really looking for money. I have just to go online because I cannot manage to go to Kenya, fly maybe with my family, or even if I go, I'll go alone. Then I come back and we start celebrating in our small way. We want to bring it big. We want to come with a pomp into this ground and hit the road running.
So I'm sure there are those who actually did go through that process of watching the graduation on YouTube. And today they are saying, I wish I would be graduating during the time when I'm able to celebrate right here with my parents and stuff. But you talked about the journey, which is actually, it took 5 years.
Yes.
To actually get this new status. What was the process like? What exactly were they looking for? And as you speak about the new status, we'll definitely be able to look at the aspect of the uniqueness in terms of the investment that is going to continue being pumped into this institution. Because there are those who are saying, oh, maybe it's been sold. Someone has probably bought the university.
Okay.
Is this true, not true? You just also to clarify on these ones.
Okay, go to the first stanza, the unique. Okay, anyway, number one, let me just start from where you have stopped.
Yes.
This university has not been sold. The chairman and the founder is Professor Dr. Simon Gisharo. The proprietor of Mount Kenya University is also the proprietor of Mount Kigali University. But all what we are saying, Mount Kenya now will have its own board of directors. Mount Kigali University will also have its own board of directors. Mount Kenya University will have a council, a university council by itself. Mount Kigali University in Rwanda will also be having its own council, which, by the way, is already there. Dr. Innocent Mugisha, the former HEC director, is the one who is chairing the council of Mount Kigali University. So already those structures are there. Then now going backward, you have said how the journey has it been.
Yes.
So I want to assure people, Mount Kigali University is not that Mount Kenya University Kigali campus was sold and then somebody rebranded. No. All what I have said, it was a campus. It is now accredited. And I said, it is a cabinet decision. After our application in 2018, they sat down and found that we have met the criteria that has been set for one really to have a fully fledged university in Rwanda. We have met the criteria. And now they said, move on. We have given you that order, you can individuate.
Right.
So it is not sold. Let me just go to the other part that you talked about. How has the journey been like? For you to be accredited and for you to get to a point of autonomy, you must show interest. It all starts with assessment. You do a personal assessment. You assess yourself as an institution. We assessed ourselves. We looked at ourselves and said, come on. We are not the small boys. We are, there is a time now you need to show men from the boys at the end of the day. In fact, in Rwanda, we are not boys. We are men. As Mount, we have been a campus, but we behaved men. Now we are coming as Mount Kigali University. We are men. We are not boys to be whipped around. What is the issue? We assessed ourselves. We found at this point, this is what the Rwanda Purification Framework says. This is what, for a university to be chartered, here they use accreditation, for a university to be accredited. This is what is required. We had to assess ourselves against those benchmarks. They have to look at the way you do your student structures. Do you have a dean of student? Do you have a university counselor, somebody who can counsel the students? Do you have chaplaincy? Do you have the sports for the students? That is one benchmark. They need to go to the academic. How many programs are you having at the end of the day? Some universities are even chartered with only 2 programs or even 1. We have more than that. By the way, for us, we have 14 that are accredited, as we are talking about. We are talking about a starting point of 14. And we have 5 more that really within the next few months we will also be having them. There are few things we are being told, do this and this, and then we have them. So at the end of the day, again, they look at the academia. Do you have the infrastructure? Do you have the faculty, the lecturers who can teach those courses or programs you have said they are there? When they come to the academia, if it is something that requires the laboratory, for instance, we have nursing. We have our simulation lab. We have 4 skill labs. All of them are there. We have science lab. We have teachers who do chemistry, physics, And even mathematics, they go to the lab, they are there. We have 7 labs for them at the end of the day. So they will have to look, when you talk about this program, do you have the infrastructure that can anchor that curriculum that you have proposed?
Right.
So that is another standard they will look at, the academia. They look at the faculty, they look at what you are proposing. Do you have the curriculum? How is your curriculum? Is it acceptable? Is it not acceptable? They tell you what to adjust, what not to adjust, and the like. After you have done that, they also want to see the next thing, the infrastructure you have. You are talking about those lecture theaters. You are talking about classrooms. You are talking about where do these students sit? When you come to our facility, we have a master's wing.
Yes.
Where we don't mingle the undergrads with the postgrads at the end of the day. We have ICT labs. We have also that computing and informatics as a faculty or as a school. At the end of the day, we have the labs with us. We have mass media, which is there. We have the labs whereby you talk about your own field. We are teaching the guys there, and we have our studios. We have even those labs that you require for just beyond the lab. Again, beyond the studio, we have created another lab with more computers where you can do your editing. The editing labs are also there.
Right.
So at the end of the day, they look at that. Number 3, they look at your establishment. Establishment in terms of what? What are your ratios? Staff, student ratios.
Yes.
What are the ratios of the facilities you have vis-a-vis what you are telling us? This is the number of students. Can they fit in that infrastructure? So those are just 2 I have highlighted, but there are many more. You look at your governance. Do you have governance? You know, administration is different from governance. The problem with many people, they mix governance and administration, they think is one. Management, they are different.
Right.
So they look at your governance structure, they see what you have. Does it allow you to merit to be?
Right.
So what is it like? It is a story we can tell the whole night.
It's a story we can tell the whole night. So what you're saying is that this approval of the autonomy is actually a stamp of a vote of confidence to the whole process of the university's structure and growth. This is
Precisely.
what you're saying. Right.
In other words, you're telling what you have just said.
Yes.
The government of Rwanda and the Ministry of Education and the Higher Education Council is saying we have confidence in Mount Kigali University.
Right.
We have what it takes.
One question before we take a short break.
Yes.
Now, to the students who started off as Mount Kenya University, Rwanda, and midway, they're told, boom, we are now Mount. What happens to these students? How are they graduating? Under which, what is the name of their certificate or their degree?
Okay, let us move. Okay, thank you, Anangwe. But I would like to start from afar.
Yes.
When you get accreditation and you are at campus, there is what we call a phase-out plan.
Okay.
So they should not worry. The reason we have the Higher Education Council and the Ministry of Education, they have to see to it these students are given due diligence. And again, with the people who have integrity like us, we will make sure due diligence is done to them. Now, answering your question, I would like to tell them this way. The curriculum of Mount Kenya University that has been there is ongoing even as we talk today. Remember, they were on unit-based kind of a curriculum.
Correct.
That curriculum is continuing even as we talk. And do you know what? Even this evening, we had a student in a class up to 8:30, and they were doing the curriculum.
So that's what will continue.
It will continue. So let nobody worry. If you registered under Mount Kenya University, we are giving you a guarantee the curriculum is continuing.
Okay.
Remember, Mount Kigali University does not have a 4th year, a 3rd year, 2nd year. We are starting our first semester in September this year.
All right.
So at the end of the day, nobody should worry. There is that continuity. And we want to assure them, we will continue giving them the quality that made them come there.
Right.
And they will enjoy it. So I want to guarantee them, Nobody will be punitive to them. Nobody will be telling them out. All what we are telling them, we are transiting from Mount Kenya University to Mount Kigali. The curriculum is ongoing for those who are there until they graduate. And let them know that they will be the graduates of Mount Kenya University. However, as we get moving, if somebody feels he would wish to move to Mount Kigali University, it's allowed.
During this same process,
Yes.
during this phase-out process.
It is
yes.
allowed.
Yes.
It is allowed. The law and even the guidelines that the Higher Education Council gives, there is the modalities that have to be followed. However, we will make sure we stick to the regulation.
Right.
We'll take sure we stick to the rules of the game so that nobody is disadvantaged, nobody is treated in a way that does not really go well with him or her.
Right. Earlier on when we were starting this conversation, you mentioned the fact that, from, a campus that actually had the name of the Kenya University
Yes.
to now an autonomous university that actually stands on its own 2 feet. You've now gotten to a point where now you're having MOUs between each other.
Precisely.
It's like those relationships. Hey, we are bros. Why should we write each other contracts? But now you have MOUs.
Yes.
Talk to us a bit about how this partnership will be like. What is it that Mount Kigali University will be getting from Mount Kenya University, the one that is in Kenya? I'm privy to the fact that there's an MOU between these two institutions.
Of course. Let me just start a fine saying. First of all, I want to congratulate the chairman and the founder of Mount Kigali University and also the founder of Mount Kenya University. Why is it very important to start at that point? The investment that has been done to the former Mount Kenya University Kigali campus was done under the auspices of Mount Kenya. Today, I'm talking about the university where I am as the acting vice chancellor. It cannot be there if he does not agree
Yes.
to really get into an MOU
Yeah.
and even tell us, now I have given you these facilities, now they will be under. These MOUs are elaborate, starting from the infrastructure,
Yeah.
all the way, everything that is here in the campus. There are MOUs that will really operationalize Mount Kigali University at the end of the day. And I would like to say this, even as I respond to this question. What is this that MOUs are all about? For instance, we have students who will continue studying, and they are Mount Kenya University students. They were admitted under the auspices of Mount Kenya University, and we will continue teaching them. Unless now Mount Kenya gets into an MOU with Mount Kigali, we have no business teaching for them. That's the way it should be.
Right.
But because of the MOU, we have all the business to teach those students until they complete.
Make me understand. You're saying that a student has a choice, but under one roof in the Kagarama campus or the facility there, to choose whether they want to study under the program of Mount Kenya University or they want to study under the program under Mount Kigali University. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, as per now.
Okay.
Even the ones we have admitted this semester,
Yeah.
they are all admitted under Mount
Kenya
Kenya.
University, yes.
We are saying, going forward, Mount Kigali University is on board.
Yeah,
It is an entity.
yeah.
So we will have our own students as Mount Kigali University. And we will also have students from
Mount Kenya University.
Mount Kenya University until the phase-out plan is
done.
over.
Okay.
The moment is over now, we will have fully
Mount
Kigali
Kigali
University students.
Okay. When is the phase ending?
The phase plan will go all the way to 2026,
2027. 2027.
Yeah,
So there's
academic
still
year.
time to actually,
Yes.
transition.
Because like right now you can see there are students who are joining.
Correct.
And the moment they have joined, they have to take their 8th semester.
Correct.
Going forward, it means 2.5 years.
Correct.
If you go 2.5 years, we are in May.
Yeah.
So it will take you all the way to the year I'm talking about.
Interesting. I want you to respond to some of these comments that are coming. I want to congratulate you and also request that you actually participate. Ask all the questions that you'd like to ask as you listen in to the good Dr. Martin Kimemia, who's the acting Vice Chancellor of Mount Kigali University. Potentia, who's on Twitter, is actually saying, will there still be the process of equivalence?
Okay, maybe responding to that one, and that is a quick one. The first question you asked me, what does it mean?
Yes.
In fact, one of the things, the licensing of those people who require license like nurses, it will be very easy now because you are just grounded here. It is the curriculum, it is under the Rwanda Qualification Framework.
Yes.
So you don't need to get an equivalence for you to go and get your license as a professional.
Right.
Once you graduate from Mount Kigali, you just go straight. Your papers are authentic, they are recognized, heck, really journeyed with us. And even in your graduation, they have to, okay, you are in the graduation list.
Interesting.
Therefore, there will be no equivalence for our sister, and therefore that will be a thing of the old. Those who may require equivalence are those coming from outside now, they have degrees elsewhere. That's when now they may require equivalence.
Interesting. Yeah. Another one is from Kanyankole Andrew, who's actually saying, MKU has done tremendous things to promote our education. One of the students who studied at MKU in Med, that's actually a student right there, a former student.
And we thank you. Thank you very much for appreciating the work we are doing.
Yes.
Continue doing it, we promise you.
Interesting. So we're going to take a very short break, the good doctor, right here on this set, on the summit. When we come back, we try to look at the aspects of education and training and how Mount Kigali University will be developing its effective teaching methodologies and what actually is there for those who are looking on the assessment methods. What are you going to be doing in those areas? Research and innovation. You've mentioned the issue of artificial intelligence. I'm also aware of the esports as one of the pioneer institutions that are going to look into that.
One of its kind.
Correct. You'll talk to us a bit about that when we come back. But I want you to send in all your questions, all your concerns, or any feedback that you have about tonight's conversation on the summit. And of course, I'm here with Dr. Martin Kimemia, who's the acting Vice Chancellor of Mount Kigali University, former Mount Kenya University, Rwanda campus. Thank you so much for being with us. We're back after this very short break. Stay with us.
RBA app is here. How to get it? It is easier than ever. Go on your home screen. Press Play Store or App Store. Type RBA. Search. There you go. You have RBA app. You have all RBA radios, news, business news, sport and entertainment.
Right. Welcome back. Thank you so much for still being with us right here on the summit. We are coming to you live from our news center right here in Rwanda's capital, Kigali. As always, my name is Eugene Anangwe. We are talking about the changes that are taking place within one of the prime or premier academic institutions, higher learning academic institutions, and that is the fact that Mount Kenya University Rwanda campus is now Mount Kigali University. And of course, I'm here with Dr. Martin Kimemia, is the acting Vice Chancellor, Mount Kigali University. Dr. Before we went for the break, there are several comments that have been coming in, and I want to thank all our viewers who are watching us, even streaming across our YouTube stream. And one of the concerns or questions that someone is asking, Joy Sanyu, he says, I'm just wondering why you didn't rename to be Mount Rwanda, since it wasn't Mount Nairobi before.
Okay. Why? Okay, let me say this. When you're doing accreditation, maybe to respond to our to our listener and those who are watching us, you give a set of names at times, a name is rejected. We had other names. I don't need to mention them because they did not see the light of the day.
Yes.
Just not to, we cannot sell those brands now. Whatever they are saying were proposals. We had picked enough proposals and we had our proposals, but they did not see the day.
Okay, so that's one of them that might not have seen.
That is one of them, and therefore we appreciate your good view and thank you. But the name that has really seen the light of the day, it is Mount Kigali University.
Right.
This is where we are. Welcome to Mount Kigali University.
Interesting. Mogisha Elise says, apart from that, we are asking ourselves, how many years will we take to complete our courses?
Precisely, we are not changing. Let me tell our viewers and our listeners all over the world that they should know Mount Kenya operates on trimester mode. Your MBA takes 4 semesters. Then it means precisely that is 1.5 years, calendar years. But academic years, those are 2 years. So there is no elongation of your duration. It will remain, we will still operate under trimester mode. So it is 8 semesters for a bachelor degree direct entry.
Right. So nothing.
Upgrading 5 semesters.
Yeah.
It will be exactly like that.
Okay.
And we will not change. The way we have operated as Mount Kenya University Kigali campus now is the same way we are operating. And this is what we are telling people. It is the name that has changed. Our operations remain.
Yeah.
The way we were operating, the duration of our programs, the time frame you are entitled to take is the same time frame you'll take under Mount Kigali University.
Interesting.
So assured.
Yes. Justin Aloha says, those guys are smart. I don't know if it's the two of us. I hope so. Or actually the ones behind all this transformation. Faustin Mujiraneza says, this sounds good. We are international. We will remain international.
Sure. Mujiraneza, thank you.
Right.
I appreciate it. We will remain, and I want to affirm again. The faculty members in our university hail from Nigeria. We have people from Kenya. We have people from Tanzania. We have people from even as far as Eritrea. We have others who are even from the Asian side, and we have them teaching for us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another one, Natete Ephraim says, we need to request you to introduce masters in history, PhD in history, and PhD in international relations, as well as PhD in international law.
That is an opportunity. It's giving us an opportunity to grasp. You know, in every institution, Anangwe,
Yes.
what do? You go for your SWOT.
Nice.
And then you see your strength, and you see your weaknesses and opportunities. I believe that is an opportunity we can tap into this market.
Interesting. Emmanuel says, Mount Kigali University, continue to shine and empower generations through education. Long live. I think this is a good one. Thank you for answering the point I've been waiting for. We still remain students of Mount Kenya.
Welcome also to Mount Kigali University, the brand I have come to say is the real brand today.
Correct. And Ali Sumutoni says, will Mount Kigali University be offering master's degree?
Precisely, let me say, we still have our master's degree in the School of Education. We have our master's degree in the School of Business, where we have our MBA students still going on. And in fact, we are getting another one, sweeter one, Masters of Science, Finance. So we are coming fully loaded. That's why I said, people should not worry at all. What was there in the campus is now only that being done in a bigger way and more home where we are at the end of the day. It's home. It has been delivered home. So HEC can own it. You as a person who is in this country can own it. I am also owning it. That's why I'm here to stand and own. Master's programs are coming. Let me even make it sweeter. We are bringing a PhD program. Very soon we'll be doing the marketing for our PhD program once the regulator allows
that.
But it is on the offing.
It's coming.
Yes.
Interesting. We are looking forward to seeing you make changes on Rwanda education market. This is Mizero James. If you're wondering where these comments are coming from, they're coming from our live feed on our YouTube channel. And of course, we are welcoming you to also send in your questions, your thoughts, but also we are on Twitter. The hashtag is the Summit RW. Now, Chusa Kev says, have you included new faculties, especially bachelors in science of IT, bachelors of business in IT, and they say nice moment. This is another
Okay, maybe
question.
you must come. Welcome very much. We have a school we call the School of Computing and Informatics. And even when I say that we are doing AI, the artificial intelligence,
Yes.
kind of, it will be anchored in this school because they take the lead is more into the world of computing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, programming and many other things.
Yeah.
But I want to tell the person we have BBICT, which is already on the ground.
Yeah.
We have the other one, even knowledge management is come. We have delivered a bachelor now, is already there for us.
Nice.
And we are bringing it on board. Therefore, let him know that we have a good program for him.
Yeah.
And he is encouraged. Welcome.
Interesting. Chusa says, rather read Chusa, let me read for Nzoisaba Thade, who says, very great to know that it stays 8 semesters. I think this is good clarification coming from you.
We want to assure you again, no change in the duration of your course.
Yeah.
8 semesters for a bachelor, direct entry, 5 semesters for upgrading. It remains like that even in Mount Kigali University.
Interesting. Right. Ephraim says, as students of Mount Kenya University, will we graduate under the Mount Kenya University or Mount Kigali?
Well, if you have already registered, I want to respond to that, and thank you, Ephraim. I want to say if you have already you've been admitted in Mount Kenya, you'll still graduate as Mount Kenya University. Once we do the intakes on Mount Kigali University, they'll graduate in Mount Kigali University. At the same time, if they are able to migrate, there is a way that universities mingle with one another on credit transfers and exemptions.
Yeah.
And then you join the other university.
Yeah.
They can still move from Mount Kenya University and come to the sides of Mount Kigali University.
Right.
So therefore, it is open.
It's an open-ended decision to make. Is there a PhD in public administration? This is another question.
We said that we are yet to anchor the PhD program, but we can tell you the regulator is looking into our case, and we believe very soon they will be giving us the go-ahead. And once it's there, we'll make you know.
Right.
Or we'll let you know.
All right. Interesting. I'll read 2 more questions. One from Dennis, who says, we also request for different kinds of masters in relation to mass media. And then another one from Dahiro Happy, who says, for those who have been studying under the name Mount Kenya University, our degrees will be issued under which name? I think you've been able to.
Let me just respond to the issue of the mass media. Mass communication, we even have a master's program on Odell. So if they come, they can still register even now.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we have been having that master's program. And what we are coming to tell you, it is there already. So you can come for it, come and register for it, and then continue studying. So it's not that we will start offering the master's degree in mass media, in journalism or communication. It has been there.
Yeah. Interesting. I can see the chairman is also watching, and definitely I'm sure that he's getting the feedback from what we're actually getting as well right here on the program.
Welcome, Chairman, and thank you very much for being with us. You see, when you have your chairman with you, I am sorted.
Yeah, right. Doctor, we have a few minutes remaining, but I can't leave this studio, this show, without asking you, especially when it comes to now the future. We spoke about the history, we talked about the journey to the new status, and of course what is actually being done today with this new status. But let's talk a bit about the future in terms of now how different, how Mount Kigali University is going to be a game changer within the employability space. We've had a lot of comments, people saying we churn out graduates year in, year out, but a lot of them are out here meeting you on the road. They're also jobless. Talk to me a bit about how you intend to approach this from a different and creative way as you now attack the market in your new status.
Well, we have been in this market for quite some time. And let me say this, what really determines what a university does, the forces of demand and supply comes in handy. And I'll tell you, the university has to come up with a very creative methods of doing this. Number one, I want to assure them we'll maintain the highest standards of the quality of education we offer. to them on the mainstream degrees.
Yeah.
But on the same, at the same time, we'll be coming up with very creative short-term courses. What are these short-term courses for? They are there to beef you, to bring the new knowledge that is coming. You know, knowledge is being churned every day.
Yeah.
The industry you have been in for many years, it has changed. Is this the way you started
It's
those
not the
many
same.
years? It is no longer the same.
Yes.
So we have to keep our people getting equipped by and by.
Yeah.
So we are coming up with short courses that will keep them at that point. And that's why we are saying our alumni also remain very important. Because when you have alumni, we are able now again to keep on bringing them closer and telling them there are new dynamisms in this. And let me tell you, at the same time, in our university, we'll make sure that our students are guided in the right way to join professional bodies. After you graduate with us, we want you to join a professional body, whereby the professional bodies keep on updating you with a new dynamism in your industry. So at the end of the day, we will not just let our people. That's why when we have our alumni, we feel that we'll keep in touch with them. And let me just say this again, at the same time, that service excellency must remain.
Right.
That when they come and they tell us we are having these difficulties, it will also be a moment of us re-engineering the process. We don't want to hear that our graduates that left 2 years ago are facing this hiccup. We'll be creative enough to really come up with the knee-jerk measures and stopgap measures to make sure the next people in the cohort and even those who are in the field will not be found wanting, but they will be measuring up to the standards. And we want to promise, we want to produce people to the world. We produce professionals to the world. We are not just producing for this market alone. This Rwandese who is here should also be a global figure. This Burundian, this person from Cameroon, we have people from Gabon, they should be global figures. So at the end of the day, we must make sure they get that pedigree we have kept on talking about and make sure they will get there.
Right.
But then...
just real quick. I'll ask you this, and maybe you can add what you just were about to mention. The aspect of lifelong learning and continuous skill development is an issue. And I want us to talk a bit about that just very briefly, because, you know, what are you doing to ensure that, or what will you do to ensure that we are continuously improving? Like you said, the industries are changing.
True. Let me tell you what we are doing. For instance, we have this July, and Anango, you should be one of the pioneering class. We are starting CHRP, Certification in Human Resource Practitioners, whereby, why do we want them to go that way? Because this is where the world is going. When you go to the accountants, they have their own body and they keep on learning and updating what they have. So at the end of the day, the lifelong that you're talking about, I talked about the professional bodies. They have to sustain that lifelong learning. At the same time, as we recognize prior learning, we also need to keep you learning at the end of the day. So we'll keep you abreast
as this happens.
As things come, as they unfold. That's why I'm saying the world is going AI. Why are we going to that direction? And you'll be telling Anangwe, you cannot do your media, whatever, without AI. We'll be telling you, come back. You are alumni already in the... You come back to Mount Kigali. Let us show you how you polish. You keep on polishing your skills at the end of the day, so that you may move on and remain marketable.
Right. As we close, and as you just talk to us a bit about what you intend to see at the end of the day, because, you know, the future is here with us. What do you intend to do in the next few days? I'm also aware that you intend to actually put out a community health center within the Kagarama area to actually support the community right there. How far is this? And what's the future like for Mount Kigali University?
Let me say these people around the city, Mount Kigali University is bringing you a university health center, whereby there will also be a pharmacy. We'll have a full doctor standing there, the so-called internal medic will be there and will be offering medication to the community as well as the university. At the same time, there will be a pharmacy there, there is a lab there, a medical lab, so you can be taken, or diagnostics will be done not on symptoms only. It is on accuracy. Then maybe you have also asked, what else are we bringing on board? You talked about esports.
Yes.
I don't think there is any university that has esports. We'll be the first people to have esports. As we come to Mount Kigali University, be ready to see the esports. One among is a first anyway in this nation. At the end of the day, we have a swimming pool. We are offering you in the university. It is there already existing. We have hostels that are coming with Mount Kigali University. The ladies' hostels are there. We have a fully furnished English proficiency lab. You know, these the locals here and people from the Western Africa are more French oriented.
Yes.
And we offer our curriculum in English.
Yes.
So what we do mostly, we like bringing them to the labs, and they learn the proficiency in English. They are able to speak, and then they are able to journey, even in our curriculum without any difficulties. So we want to tell them we are here. But then I will not forget one thing, research. You cannot leave this show, Anangwe, without talking about research. I would tell the world at large, a university is known by two things, academics, and its research.
Right.
So we want to bring in HADI, action research, whereby we are problem solving. We want to come to the media industry in our school of media, mass media, and let them do action research with the media in this nation, in that other nation, across the globe. We do surveys and we fix issues for them.
Right. Interesting. Interesting. I'm being told we need to go, but this is very exciting that this conversation will continue on. I'm sure we have a lot of people who actually still want to get answers to some of the questions that they had, but I want to promise them that if you actually go online, we never end this conversation. Like we always say, on these four walls, they end, but then we continue talking across our digital platforms. The hashtag, as always, is the Summit RW. Thank you so much, Dr. Martin Kimemia, AG, Vice Chancellor, Mount Kigali University, and all the best in the new face and the new status. As always, my name is Eugene Andangwe. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you again next time.